Real men aren't threatened by other men complimenting their girl, she said while texting them. So I left without a word. Now those men are blackmailing her and she's begging me to save her. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I never thought I'd be writing this, but here we are. It's been over a year since everything fell apart, and I'm finally in a place where I can talk about it without feeling that knot in my chest. This is long, but I need to get it all out. The beginning. Her name was Mia. We met through mutual friends at a birthday party about 3.5 years ago. I'm a software developer, pretty introverted, the kind of guy who prefers a quiet night and over clubs. She worked in retail management and had this energy that just drew people in. We clicked immediately. For the first 2 years, things were genuinely good. Real. I'm not trying to romanticize it. We had our issues like any couple, but we were solid. When her dad got sick during year 2, I was there every single day. Hospital visits, helping her mom with bills, just being present. When she lost her job that same year, I covered rent for 3 months without making her feel bad about it. That's what you do when you love someone, right? She got back on her feet, found a better job in marketing for a boutique. Things stabilized. I thought we were building towards something permanent. I was even looking at rings. Then about 8 months before everything ended, something shifted. The change. It started innocuously enough. Mia had always been on Instagram, but it was just normal stuff. Brunch photos, sunset pictures, occasional selfies. Then she discovered fitness content. She started posting workout routines, healthy meal prep, motivational quotes. Honestly, I was supportive. She seemed happier, more energized. Her follower count started climbing. 500 became 1,000, then 5,000. By month 4, she had 15,000 followers. And that's when I noticed her personality changing. She was constantly on her phone, not just scrolling, responding to DMs, checking analytics, planning content. Our conversations got shorter. Date nights became photo opportunities. She'd spend 20 minutes getting the perfect shot of her food before it got cold, then barely eat it because she was reading comments. The posts gradually became more revealing. Workout clothes got tighter, angles got more suggestive. The comments section filled with fire emojis and increasingly explicit compliments from random guys. When I gently brought it up, she brushed me off. "You don't understand social media," she'd say, not looking up from her phone. "This is how you build engagement." Then came the comparisons. "Why don't you work out like Marcus?" she asked one night, showing me some fitness influencer's page. "He's got such discipline." "I do work out," I said, "just not for Instagram." She rolled her eyes. "That's the problem. You don't get it." I remembered the hospital waiting room. Her head on my shoulder, crying about her dad. Me promising I wasn't going anywhere. That guy she was describing wasn't in that waiting room. The confrontation. The real warning sign came about 6 months in. I came home from work early and found her in our bedroom doing a photo shoot. Sports bra, leggings, poses that were, let's call them provocative. Her phone was propped up and she was checking the screen between shots, clearly responding to someone in real time. I stood in the doorway. "Mia, can we talk about this? This is getting uncomfortable." She didn't even stop posing. "Here we go again. You're so insecure." "It's not about insecurity," I said, trying to keep my voice level. "You're meeting these guys, aren't you?" She finally lowered her phone. "So what if I am? They're just friends." Real men aren't threatened by other men complimenting their girl. Friends don't ask for private photos, Mia. She laughed, actually laughed. "You're acting like my father. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need someone who isn't intimidated by my success." "Your success? Or your need for validation from strangers?" Her face hardened. "Get out. I need to finish this shoot." I left the room. Looking back, I should have known that was the beginning of the end. The discovery. Over the next 6 weeks, things deteriorated fast. She went out more, meeting followers for coffee, she'd say. Sometimes she wouldn't come home until 2 or 3 a.m., stumbling and smelling like cologne that wasn't mine. I never snooped. I want to be clear about that. But one evening, she left her laptop open on the kitchen table while she showered. A message notification popped up, then another, then 5 more in rapid succession. I glanced over, not intentionally prying, it was just right there. The messages were from different guys. Flirting, explicit, and her responses were enthusiastic. In one chat, she'd sent, "He's so boring. Just sits around coding all day. I need excitement, you know? In another, yeah, we're still together technically, but not for long, lol. My stomach dropped. I closed the laptop and sat there, numb. When she came out, hair wrapped in a towel, I said, "We need to talk." She sighed dramatically. "Can it wait? I'm tired." "No," I said quietly. "I know you've been seeing other people." I expected denial. Tears. Something. Instead, her shoulders relaxed like I'd given her permission to stop pretending. "Okay. Fine. Yes." She sat down across from me, not even trying to hide it anymore. "Because you can't give me what I need." "What do you need?" "Excitement. Validation. Passion. You're like a wet blanket on my life right now, Jake. These guys make me feel alive." These guys? How many? Does it matter? She was scrolling through her phone again, barely engaged. "Look, I'm not apologizing. I'm 26, I'm hot right now, and I deserve to explore that. You want some boring suburban life. I need someone confident enough to handle who I am. Who you are," I said slowly, "or who you're pretending to be online." Her laugh was cruel. "See? This is exactly why this isn't working. You're jealous of my success. You can't handle that men actually want me." Something clicked in my head. Clarity. I stood up. "I'm not jealous, Mia. I'm done." For the first time in the conversation, she looked genuinely surprised. "Wait, what? You can have the apartment for the month. I'll be gone by tomorrow." She recovered quickly, the smugness returning. "Fine. Good luck finding someone who puts up with your boring ass. Trust me, you're not going to do better than this." She gestured at herself. I went to the bedroom and started packing. The exit. I took only what mattered. Clothes, laptop, a few books, some photos from before everything changed. She stayed in the living room, texting someone, probably already telling them how she finally got rid of the dead weight. By midnight, I had 3 suitcases packed. My friend Marcus, yeah, ironically named, said I could crash with him. I loaded up my car while she slept. Before I left, I took one last look at the apartment. 3 years of my life. I'd carried her through so much. And this is what it came to. I left my key on the counter and walked out. Blocked her on everything except email. We'd need that for lease and bill logistics. But otherwise, I went completely silent. No dramatic Facebook post, no mutual friend updates, no attempts to win her back. I just vanished from her life. The fog the first 2 weeks were the hardest. I kept expecting to feel angry. Instead, I just felt numb. Like I was watching my life happen to someone else. I threw myself into work. Picked up extra projects. My manager noticed and appreciated it. I started going to the gym, not to get revenge hot or prove anything, just because I needed somewhere to put the restless energy. Therapy helped. My therapist asked me one question that stuck. "Are you grieving who she was, or who you thought she was?" I realized I was mourning a person who hadn't existed for months. Maybe longer. I reconnected with friends I'd been neglecting. Friday game nights. Weekend hikes. Simple stuff that reminded me I had a life outside of her orbit. Marcus mentioned that Mia was posting even more frantically. "Dude, she's posting like 5 times a day. Living my best life, captions. But honestly, she looks kind of manic." "I wouldn't know," I said. "She's blocked." "Good," he said. "Keep it that way." 3 months later, by month 3, something shifted. I woke up one Saturday and realized I hadn't thought about her the day before. Not once. Work offered me a promotion, senior developer, significant raise. I took it. Found a better apartment closer to downtown. 1 bedroom, but it was mine. No shared history in the walls. Started casually seeing someone I met through a friend. Nothing serious yet, but it was nice. She actually listened when I talked. Laughed at my jokes. Wasn't glued to her phone during dinner. Life felt lighter. Like I'd been carrying a backpack full of rocks, and finally set it down. I heard through the grapevine that Mia was still posting, still meeting random guys from her DMs, still chasing that validation high. It didn't make me angry anymore. It just made me sad for her. The collapse. I didn't witness what happened next firsthand. I pieced it together from Marcus and one mutual friend who felt I should know. Apparently, one of the guys Mia had been seeing, called him Dylan, seemed different from the others. Older, more sophisticated, knew all the right things to say. He'd been with Instagram models before. Red flag in retrospect, but Mia was too deep in the attention addiction to care. They hooked up several times over the course of a month. He was always filming things, content, he called it. She thought they were building something together, some kind of influencer power couple situation. Until he sent her the message. I have videos and photos of everything we did. Send me $5,000 or they go to everyone you know. Your followers, your family, your employer. You have 48 hours. She panicked. Tried to reason with him. Begged. He sent her a sample clip to prove he wasn't bluffing. She didn't have $5,000. The Instagram thing never actually made money, just validation. When she didn't pay, he did exactly what he threatened. But worse, he shared everything with a group chat of other guys she'd been meeting up with. Guys who'd been comparing notes on her the whole time, mocking her, treating her like a game. Some of the content got leaked publicly. Not the explicit stuff, but enough. Screenshots of her messages, photos, conversations where she talked badly about people in her life. Her Instagram got mass reported. First suspended, then permanently banned when she appealed and they reviewed the content. The carefully constructed brand she destroyed our relationship over? Gone in 72 hours. Her job found out. Someone sent the leaked content to her company's HR. They let her go for brand misalignment and conduct unbecoming. Former followers who'd screenshotted everything before her account died started mocking her on other platforms. The same people who'd been flooding her with fire emojis were now calling her desperate, fake, a cautionary tale. Her family found out. That was apparently the worst part for her. Her mom, who'd always been proud of her influencer daughter, was humiliated. Friends who'd warned her started distancing themselves. Nobody wants to be associated with a social media implosion. And Dylan? Vanished. Blocked her everywhere. Probably moved on to the next target. The reaching out. The first email came about 2 weeks after her account got banned. Subject line, "Hey body. Hey, how have you been?" Like we were old friends who'd lost touch. Like she hadn't shredded our relationship and mocked me to strangers. I stared at it for a full minute, then closed my laptop. Didn't respond. 3 days later. I know things ended badly. Can we talk? I thought about it. Decided on a brief response. There's nothing to talk about. Take care. Her reply came within minutes. Please. I made mistakes. I see that now. I miss you. I miss us. I didn't respond. The emails kept coming. Longer each time. Detailing her situation, blaming Dylan, blaming Instagram culture, blaming everyone but herself for the choices she made. You were right about everything. I was stupid. I got caught up in something toxic and I didn't see what I had until it was gone. I need you. Delete. Then she started calling. I didn't answer, so she called from different numbers. Friends' phones, maybe burner apps, I don't know. She showed up at my old workplace. Security told her I didn't work in that building anymore. Apparently, she'd caused a scene. The emails got more desperate. How can you just not care? After everything we went through. I maintained radio silence. Every message, every call, every attempt, met with nothing. The flying monkeys. Then her mom called. Jake, this is Diane. We need to talk about Mia. I should have hung up immediately. Instead, I made the mistake of being polite. Hello, Diane. I don't think there's anything to discuss. She's going through a crisis. You were together for years. How can you just abandon her like this? With all respect, Mia made her choices. This isn't my responsibility. She made mistakes. Don't you care about her at all? She's struggling, Jake. Financially, emotionally. She needs support. I cared about her very much. But what she needs isn't something I can provide. She needs to figure this out herself. So you're just going to be cruel? Let her suffer. I'm not being cruel. I'm being honest. I can't be her safety net after everything that happened. Her voice turned sharp. You're just bitter she chose better men than you. You couldn't handle that she was desirable, that she had options. I hung up. That told me everything I needed to know about where Mia learned her entitlement. The anger phase. When desperation didn't work, Mia's emails turned ugly. You know what? I dodged a bullet. You were always a coward. Too scared to live. Too boring to keep up with someone like me. This is exactly why I left. You're probably loving this. Getting to feel superior while I'm dealing with real problems. You always needed to feel like the mature one, the stable one. It's pathetic. Those guys were more of a man than you ever were. At least they weren't afraid to actually live. There it was. The real Mia. The one who'd been hiding under the surface, waiting to come out when the mask slipped. I deleted the emails without responding. She wanted a reaction, anger, defensiveness, anything to prove she still mattered to me. I gave her nothing. The final encounter 8 months after I walked out, I ran into her. I was at a coffee shop near my new apartment, Saturday morning. I'd slept in, gone for a run, felt good. Sarah, the woman I'd been seeing, was meeting me there. We'd been together about 2 months. Nothing too serious yet, but it was healthy. Easy. She didn't perform her life for an audience. I was waiting for my order when I heard, "Jake?" I turned. For a second, I didn't recognize her. Mia looked exhausted. No makeup, hair pulled back messily, wearing sweats that had seen better days. The Instagram polish was completely gone. She looked like someone who'd been surviving, not thriving. "Hey," I said neutrally. "Can we talk? Please. Just 5 minutes." I glanced at the door. Sarah would be here soon. "I don't think that's a good idea, Mia. Please." Her voice cracked. "I'm in trouble. Real trouble. The blackmail thing, I might need to involve police, but I don't have money for a lawyer. You were always good with that kind of stuff, and I just thought, there are resources for that," I said calmly. "Legal aid, victim support services. You should contact them." "I have," she said, tears forming. "But it's complicated, and I don't have anyone else, and I know I hurt you. I know. But you're the only person who ever really cared about me. Doesn't that mean anything?" The barista called my name. I grabbed my coffee, bought myself a moment to think. When I turned back, I looked at her, really looked at her, and I felt nothing. No anger, no satisfaction at her downfall, no lingering love. Just nothing. "It did mean something," I said quietly. "It meant everything to me once. But that was a long time ago, and I'm not that person anymore. You need to handle this yourself, Mia. So you're just nothing? You feel nothing. I don't wish bad things on you. I genuinely hope you figure things out and get your life back on track. But I'm not part of your life anymore, and you're not part of mine." The door opened. Sarah walked in, spotted me, smiled. I raised my hand in acknowledgement. Mia followed my gaze. Saw Sarah. Saw how I lit up just slightly when I looked at her. Something broke behind Mia's eyes. "You replaced me." "I didn't replace you," I said. "I moved on. There's a difference. After everything we had, we didn't have anything at the end. You made sure of that." I picked up my coffee. "Take care of yourself, Mia." I walked over to Sarah, kissed her cheek, and we sat down at a corner table. I didn't look back to see if Mia was still standing there. It didn't matter. Sarah asked, "Who was that?" "Someone I used to know," I said. And that was the truth. The person I'd loved was gone, if she'd ever really existed at all. 6 months later, it's been over a year and a half since I walked out of that apartment. 14 months since I last saw Mia at the coffee shop. Sarah and I are still together. We moved in together last month. Her idea, which felt right. She's a veterinarian, works insane hours sometimes, but she's present when she's with me. We cook dinner together. We talk about our days. She's never once made me feel like I'm not enough. Work's going great. I'm leading a team now, mentoring junior developers. Building something I'm proud of. I reconnected with my family in a real way. Weekly calls with my mom. Visited my brother last month. Relationships I'd let atrophy while I was busy trying to fix someone who didn't want to be fixed. I heard through Marcus that Mia eventually moved to a different city. Fresh start, I guess. Her Instagram came back under a different name. Much smaller following, much more careful content. I didn't look for it. Marcus just mentioned it. I didn't ask for details. I don't think about her much anymore. Sometimes something will remind me, a song we used to like, or I'll pass by our old apartment building. But it doesn't hurt. It's just a fact. Something that happened to pass me. Sometimes I think about the night I discovered those messages on her laptop. Part of me wonders what would have happened if I'd begged. If I'd fought harder. If I tried to win her back. And then I remember, you can't win back someone who is already gone. You can't compete for someone who's treating you like you're the consolation prize. The biggest lie we tell ourselves in relationships is that love is supposed to be a fight. That if you just try hard enough, sacrifice enough, prove yourself enough, the other person will finally see your worth. But the truth is simpler and harder. People show you who they are. And when they do, you have to believe them. Mia showed me she valued validation from strangers more than loyalty from someone who'd proven themselves when it mattered. She showed me I was an obstacle to the image she wanted to project. She showed me I was replaceable, until I actually replaced myself with someone who didn't need me to be. I used to worry I'd never find someone who made me feel the way she did in those early days. Turns out, I was right, and thank God for that. What I found instead was someone who makes me feel better, Sarah, yeah. My friends. My work. My family. But mostly myself. I like who I am now. I like the life I've built. It's quiet, stable, maybe even boring by Instagram standards. But it's mine. It's real. And nobody's performing it for an audience. That's worth more than any number of followers, likes, or fire emojis could ever be. I don't know what Mia's doing now. I don't check. I don't wonder. She's a character in a story that ended, and I'm living the sequel she's not part of. Sometimes the best revenge isn't making someone regret losing you. It's building a life so good that you forget they were ever part of it. And I finally have that. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.